Have you ever felt like the tiniest comment, an unexpected criticism, or a silly problem in your day can completely knock you down emotionally? Has it happened to you that a simple word changes your mood and suddenly you feel weak, vulnerable, out of control? Let me tell you something. The strongest people aren't those with the fewest problems. They're the ones who've learned to master their minds in the face of those problems. And that power, that peace, that quiet strength is not some magical gift. It's a skill, and you can train it. Today I'm going to show you how to develop the mindset that transforms ordinary people into unshakable beings. A mindset where nothing affects you, where you stop reacting and start acting with purpose, where you take control of your mind and your life. Because once you master this, nothing and no one will ever hold power over you again. First, why does everything affect you? The invisible emotional trap. Most people live trapped inside an invisible prison. And the worst part? That prison exists only in their own minds. They believe the problem is out there, in the criticism, the rejection, the words someone said. But the truth is different. The real enemy is the reaction you choose to have toward it. Every time someone makes you angry, every time a minor situation throws you off balance, you're giving your power away. You're letting something external control your inner world. And that's why you feel exhausted, anxious, and vulnerable. Not because you're weak, but because no one ever taught you how to master the one thing you can control, your mind. And you know what the first step to freedom is? Recognizing that you don't have to react to everything. That not everything deserves a response. And that in silence, in the pause, in the calm, that's where your true power is born. Second, the nothing affects me mindset, the art of emotional detachment. Now imagine this. Walking through life without letting anything shake you. No matter how chaotic things get, you remain grounded, calm, conscious, steady. Nothing affects you. This isn't indifference, it's inner power. Because true strength isn't found in reacting, it's in not needing to. Most people react to everything. A look, a message, a single comment. They live in a constant state of war, defending their ego, their image, their need for control. But what they don't realize is that this is the deepest form of slavery. You weren't created to be a puppet of your emotions. You were created to be the guardian of your mind. And when you finally stop giving away your peace over small things, when you stop fighting everything you can't control, you discover something extraordinary. The world no longer has power over you. You have power over yourself. And that is the only real power. Someone criticizes you, you don't react. Someone rejects you, it doesn't break you. Something goes wrong, you don't lose control. That is the nothing affects me mindset. And I promise you, once you activate it, everything begins to change. Third, master your reactions. Master your life. The key isn't in controlling the world. The key is learning how you respond to it. Think about this. You're walking down the street, and someone insults you for no reason. You react, yell, defend yourself, lose your cool. That's what they want. They want to steal your peace. They want you to hand over your power. But instead, you smile. You breathe, and you keep walking. Not a word. Not an ounce of energy wasted. In that moment, you win. Because real power is the silence that unsettles. It's the calm that cannot be bought or shaken. It's that stillness that makes people wonder, what does this person know that I don't? It's the same with failure, with rejection, with plans that don't work out. Some people fall apart. They get frustrated. They give up. But not you. You're not defined by what happens. You're defined by how you respond to what happens. And here's a truth no one talks about. Every time you choose not to react impulsively, you're training your mind. You're reinforcing your inner power. You're building a mental shield that makes you unshakable. Only 1% of people walk through life like this. Unmoved, clear, powerful. Not because their lives are perfect, but because they've learned not to let anything or anyone pull them off center. And you can be part of that 1%. It all begins with one choice. React or evolve. Fourth, the difference between indifference and emotional strength. Maybe you're thinking right now, so should I just become cold? Shut off my emotions? Be indifferent to everything? And the answer is no. This isn't about becoming a stone or pretending nothing affects you. It's about learning to respond without reacting. Big difference. A mentally strong person feels deeply. They cry, they laugh, they love, they get emotional. But they don't let those emotions take the wheel. They don't let feelings dictate their direction. It's not indifference. It's maturity. It's having a heart that feels, but a mind that leads. Think about the great spiritual leaders, Jesus, Buddha, Gandhi. They all experienced compassion, pain, love, but none of them were slaves to their impulses. Why? Because they understood a universal truth. You can feel everything without losing control. You can be in the middle of chaos, feel it all, and still act with calm, with clarity, with purpose. That doesn't make you less human. It makes you more free. Because when you learn to live with your heart open, but your mind steady, nothing can stop you. Not your emotions, and not the emotions of the world. Fifth, reprogram your mind. The power of autosuggestion. Everything you're hearing here isn't just theory. It's a skill you can train. And most powerful tool you have isn't out there. It's not a book. It's not a course. It's your own mind. Visualization isn't child's play. It's the most practiced technique among elite athletes, successful entrepreneurs, and spiritual leaders. Every morning, when you close your eyes and vividly picture yourself being unshakable, when you imagine yourself staying calm, mastering your emotions, responding with strength, you're training your subconscious. And when you repeat that over and over, what you visualize becomes your reality. Napoleon Hill said it over a century ago. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. But how do you get your mind to believe it? With autosuggestion. Repeat it daily. Nothing affects me. I choose my thoughts. My peace is mine. I own my reactions. At first, it might feel like a lie. But after 21 days, 40 days, 90 days, your mind will accept it as truth. And it will start to behave accordingly. That's how you reprogram your inner world. That's how, even when the outside world stays the same, you become someone new. Someone so strong that no one else has power over you. Sixth, silence as a weapon of power. In a world where everyone wants to talk, everyone wants to argue, defend themselves, give their opinion, silence becomes power. Most people can't stand silence. It makes them uncomfortable. It exposes their insecurities. So they avoid it. But you won't. You're going to start using silence as your shield, your secret language, your invisible weapon. When someone criticizes you, stay silent. When someone provokes you, stay silent. When everyone's reacting emotionally, you observe. Because silence disarms. Silence unsettles the weak. But it commands respect from a place of inner strength. Here's the secret. The one who speaks less controls more. The one who stays silent learns more. While others reveal themselves, you stay grounded. You gather information. You stay composed while they waste energy. Silence turns you into a mystery. And in mystery, respect is born. You don't need to shout to make your presence felt. You don't need to argue to prove your worth. Sometimes all it takes is a look, a pause, and the decision to keep walking forward. Remember this. Silence is the most powerful answer when noise tries to control you. Seventh, stop seeking approval. The false power of pleasing everyone. One of the greatest thieves of personal power is the constant need to be liked by everyone. We live in a world obsessed with approval, likes, comments, applause, recognition, as if our worth depended on the validation of others. But hear this clearly. You weren't born to be approved. You were born to be authentic. And the more you chase acceptance, the further you drift from yourself. Every time you change who you're just to fit in, every time you hide your truth because you're afraid of judgment, you're not just losing your voice, you're losing yourself. And here's the tragedy. You will never be enough for someone who doesn't even understand themselves. Freedom begins when you stop needing to belong. When you look in the mirror and say, my value doesn't come from being understood, it comes from being true to who I am. And here's the magic. When you stop chasing approval, people start respecting you. Because the world admires those who don't sell out, who don't bend, who walk their path even when no one claps for them. Now you know, this isn't about making the world quieter. It's about learning to walk through the noise in silence with clarity with power, with that look in your eyes that says, I have nothing to prove because my true power was never out there. It's always been in me. And now, with everything you've just learned, you're no longer the same. You're not easily broken. You don't react. You choose. You've started the journey of mastering yourself. If this message resonated deep within you, if you saw yourself in these words, if you're ready to keep awakening that dormant force within you, subscribe now. This channel is for those who are done surviving and ready to dominate their inner world. Drop a comment. What part of this video hit you the hardest? Where did you feel that internal shift? And share this message with someone who needs it. Your simple action might be the turning point in someone else's life. Remember this. The one who masters their mind masters their life. And you've already started. See you in the next video. Warrior of Silence.